do you deal with this insanity all the time?
Well, it isn't all the time, is it? It's just on party nights like tonight when everyone's a bit excited and, you know, it's good. It's a film festival.
A sure sign of any happening film festival, plenty of red carpet. And in Toronto, it's hard to miss. Whether a big film premiere or a star-studded party, just follow the red carpet to the coolest events in town. Mr. Servino, would you talk to us for just a moment? I soon became bored with the role of hard-hitting reporter. Don't you think you should have worn something sexy to a big premiere like this? What's it like to be Tia Carrere's husband? How does it feel to be one of Canada's sexiest actresses? So I decided to shift gears in order to get into the party. Even though my press badge gets me access to the red carpet, it definitely doesn't guarantee that I'll get into the actual event.
You are the only ones who are allowed in.
It seemed to me that anyone who had a gimmick could get in. So with a quick rock star makeover, you know, my PA sunglasses and a hat, I was ready to make my own appearance on the red carpet. Now watch as my PA takes the mic and begins asking me questions in order to turn the attention on my new persona.
So you really have no reason to be at this festival?
No, not at all. Not at all. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk over there and see if anything happens. Watch, I'm going to sneak in. I'm going to sneak in.
You want to sneak in?
And without any credentials, I've scored access to one of the hottest events of the festival. I call that the red carpet scam. I'm going to the party. I'm going to the party.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Tom Dowd in The Language of Music follows the life and career of one of the most important innovators in the history of music recording.
Tom Dowd was a guy who recorded everybody from Dizzy Gillespie and John Coltrane to the Allman Brothers and Eric Clapton and Aretha Franklin and Ray Charles, and a lot of these people are in the film and talk about their relationship and their working relationship with Tom Dowd and what a special person he was. The fact that one person could have been a participant in the making of so much history, yet no one outside of the music business knew who he was.
If you could explain for me in layman's terms exactly some of the innovations that Tom Dowd was behind.
Well, first and foremost, I think the thing that impresses people the most is Tom was the guy who invented the sliders on the soundboard. It used to be round knobs, and as he would say, I could only get my fingers over 3 or 4 at a time, and it was clumsy, and he decided to put faders in so he could play it like a typewriter, like you're playing a piano. And that was the thing about Tom, is he was one of the very first recording engineers to mic each instrument and then mix on the fly. Before that, it was they'd put a microphone in the middle of the room and they'd move the musicians back and forth to get the proper balance.
Tom goes in and finds out what's inside of you and pulls it out.
One of the things that you learn in the film is the fact that Tom Dowd was involved in the creation of the atom bomb.
Well, that was, for me as a filmmaker, really the kicker to the story, that this man who recorded all this great music actually worked with Rainwater and Fermi and Dunning in the bowels of Columbia University Pupine Physics Lab, smashing atoms on a cyclotron and becoming a radiation detection specialist, and then going to Bikini Atoll after the war and witnessing the atomic bomb explosions, and couldn't get college credit for what he had done.
He would know how to bring out the best. So his thing was just to allow me to do whatever I wanted and to pursue any avenue and to encourage me until either we ran out, it came to a dead end, or we would go in a direction that was working. And so he was kind of like a father.
He meant so much to the artist because he used to go into the studio and he was a very non-judgmental person. He didn't judge anybody. He always tried to bring out the best in the artist.
He's such a gentleman. I've learned a whole lot from him, a lot aside from recording. I really respect this man a whole lot.
Name for us some Canadian filmmakers, famous Canadian filmmakers.
Oh, no.
That's a great question.
Can't think of one. Oh, my God. I don't know a Canadian director.
Mel Gibson.
Jim Jarmusch or Jarmusch?
I'm trying to think of a Canadian filmmaker.
Adam McGoyan.
Their names might not be on the tip of your tongue, but Canada is bursting with cinematic talent.
David Cronenberg.
Adam McGoyan and Denny Arcana are two of the great directors of this country.
James Cameron.
From Cameron to Cronenberg, Canadians are giving Hollywood a run for its money.
Their films are more emotional and tonal.
The Canadian content seems to be a lot darker.
I'm not trying to define the Canadian style of filmmaking because it's all kinds.
I like Sarah Polley a lot.
There's definitely a distinct Canadian aesthetic.
I've never seen differences between countries. What I see is straight culture and alternative culture. That to me is really where we're divided culturally and politically.
I just want to tell you that your work, it really means a lot to me. It's had an impact on my life.
Thank you.
This probably sounds crazy, but I wrote you one of those letters a couple weeks ago.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. My name's John Eckhart.
Great.
It's nice to meet you.
I Love Your Work is about a movie star who is in the throes of a nervous breakdown. He discovers that he loses himself, so essentially he starts stalking the fan. This movie is a little, maybe kind of a peephole into the mind of someone who, you know, people perceive to be one way, but in fact is really another.
What led to this project? Obviously it was influenced in some way by your life, but you co-wrote the script.
There's just this idea of it peeling away the surfaces of personas, you know, and so I think it provides a glimpse into, you know, what's behind the smile.
What were some of the aspects of the story that you related to?
Insanity, the pornography, no, sorry. Open the shirt, pal. No, just kidding. I think it's just rare that you come across something that really is a personal expression. As an actor, I'm just working with Adam. It's just really liberating.
He was very thankful about, obviously we didn't have much money, but the movie looks great. And he would just praise people for what, apart from the actors, for the job that they did.
Tell me about how you got involved in I Love Your Work.
I thought it was such a great script, really well written and really interesting, and a lot of the issues that it was sort of addressing were things that, you know, kind of in the back of your mind or things you think about when you're alone.
This is fun. Well, it's fun. It's a pleasure for me because I'm fans of both of your work. God, now see, I'm going to say the title of the movie. I love your work. But it's true. It's completely genuine. If you can pry yourself away from the films, there's plenty to do in the city. And I made a point of hitting all the tourist hotspots in Toronto. Whew! I don't think I've ever been this high. Actually, you know, in terms of height. I'm on the highest freestanding structure in the entire world. And I walked every stair all the way up here. Wow. From all the way up there, I could even spot the Hockey Hall of Fame. I've never been to the Hockey Hall of Fame. Think of all the great hockey movies. Slapshot. I'll come up with another one. Is it Slapshot 2? Ah! It's actually kind of scary. My stomach is in my throat right now. I'm serious. Check it out. It's a sky dome. After a day of exploring the city, I picked up a few souvenirs and headed to the next screening.